Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel, your host. We look forward to the words of Pastor Glidewell as he gives us a seasonal reflection now on Easter. Hi, Charles.
Well, it's almost Easter again. I had a brief but timely conversation just a few days ago that got me thinking about the meaning of Easter. I went into a local business, and during the small talk, someone jokingly said, "Be nice to Pastor Charles, he gets you to heaven." Well, even though she was kidding, I did walk away thinking that framing it like that could be a helpful way to talk about the good news of Jesus and Easter. Who does get you to heaven? How does a person get on God's good side, we might say? What does it take for a person to be welcomed into God's presence? Well, sadly, some people don't think that there is a way. They feel that it's too late for them. They've lived such a terrible life. In their own mind, they are somehow irredeemable. Other people feel pretty confident that they do qualify for heaven. When they look at their own moral ledger, they feel confident that they've done enough good to get on God's good side. Other people count on being welcomed into God's presence by being connected to the right people, a pastor or a priest or even a church. They may have a really religious family member, such as a grandmother or an aunt, and they sort of feel covered by someone else's spirituality. And some people, when the day comes, just plan on squeezing their eyes really tight and crossing their fingers and hoping for the best. Well, the good news about Jesus is that God is the one who gets you to heaven. The God who created you is the one who has taken the initiative to pursue you and to redeem you. It's described this way in the Bible to some Christians who lived in the first century. God has qualified you to share in the inheritance of the kingdom of light. And then we're given this image. God has rescued you from the dominion of darkness and brought us into the kingdom of Jesus. In Jesus we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins. And it says in another place, God made us alive with Christ. He forgave all our sins. Notice in all of those verses that it's God who does all of the acting. God is the one who qualifies you for the heavenly inheritance. God is the one who rescues. God is the one who makes us alive with Jesus. The wonderful news about how you and God relate to each other is this. God hates sin and the destruction it causes too much to allow it to go unnoticed or unchallenged or unpunished. And He loves humanity so much that He takes the punishment for sin upon Himself. That's why Jesus came to live and to die and to be raised by the power of God 3 days later. A part of the meaning of Easter is that when Jesus was raised from the dead to return to God, the message for us was that everyone who puts their faith in Jesus will be raised to return to God as well. You are welcomed into God's presence through Jesus. Easter is about victory over sin and death, about forgiveness. Easter is about God's redeeming love. We would love to have you celebrate Easter morning with us here at First Baptist Church. We'll have an Easter sunrise service at 6:30 a.m. That'll be behind the Science Building at Colby Sawyer College. Just park at the Hogan Center and someone will be there to greet you and to direct you where you should go. Our traditional service is at 9 a.m. Our contemporary worship service is at 11 a.m. Hope to see you here. We would love to have you as our guest. A blessed Easter to you and yours.
Thank you, Charles. Just a reminder, this is Easter weekend and most of our churches will be celebrating. If you don't have a house to worship, check out the many that are offering their hospitality in our area.